going for Tom. Tom, get on up here.
It is 1968. I'm 13 years old, and I'm in the 7th grade. I'm incredibly skinny. I'm half the height of the girls in my class, but I got these beautiful bowed legs. At this very moment, I have leaped off my school bus. I am running through some backyards because I got off a stop early. I'm trying to avoid the kids in my neighborhood that pick on me and occasionally beat me up. That's Kevin Driscoll and the Wallace brothers, Bruce and Kevin. And I know they're after me because today in 6th period gym class, my big secret, the thing that only I knew about myself, was discovered by the kids when I was taking off my pants and putting on my shorts. And they told everybody, and I know these kids are now looking for me. I make it home, no one's there. My mom is still at work, but it doesn't matter because I don't tell her anything about what goes on at school. So I throw my books on the bed and I pick up the only thing in the world that makes me feel special. My Craftsman Powermaster 760, the most powerful BB gun in the world. Every kid in my neighborhood wants one, and I'm the only one that has one. It was purchased for me by my grandfather, my mother's father. And this is a guy who came to this country when he was 17, and he came alone. And he taught me to shoot with it and hunt with it. But then he divorced my grandmother, and my mother threw him out of my life forever. And I miss this guy so much, because in addition to teaching me to hunt and shoot, he taught me to fish. He taught me to throw and take a punch, and he taught me to take a hunting knife and throw it in the wall so it was stuck. This was neat stuff for a kid my age, and I had no one in my life now who could teach me these things. So I took that gun and I went down to the sand pit about a half a mile away where I shot tin cans for target practice. I heard them before I saw them. Bobby Driscoll and the Wallace boys on top of the cliff overlooking me. And they were calling down to me, "Hey, Sport. Hey, Shrimp," and the one I hated more than all the others. "Hey, Squirt, what you got in your pants, Squirt? Are you wearing diapers? Are you afraid you're gonna pee in your pants?" I tried not to listen, but I could feel the rage building in me, and I had to do one of two things: either run and hide or strike out at them. But that's when they pulled their pants down and stuck their bare butts over the cliff at me. Now, I don't know if you've ever been mooned before, but to a kid with a BB gun, a bare butt looks an awful lot like a target. And I knew from this distance I could hit that target, and quite frankly, I had a good chance of hitting the bullseye. So I raised that gun and leveled it at Bobby Driscoll's bullseye, and I drew in a breath and held it and started to gently squeeze the trigger. But that's when I heard my grandfather's voice. "Don't you ever point a loaded gun at another person. Never. Cardinal rule." Shit. So I took the barrel and just took a little bit to the left and shot through the leaves right by Bobby Driscoll's ear. And then I reloaded and I shot through the leaves by Kevin's ear. And I kept reloading and shooting around them in the leaves. And they were trying to pull up their pants and run at the same time. And Bruce fell down and he started to scream, "Don't leave me, don't leave me." And the other ones circled around and they're yelling at me, "You're nuts. We're going to jail. We're calling the police." And I stopped shooting. And I sat down on the log. I knew I did a bad thing. I knew I lost control. And I knew I was going to lose the Craftsman Powermaster 760 forever. But I knew that even if the police weren't there when I got home, my mother was really gonna be upset with me. I walked home because I couldn't think of anywhere else to go. When I got home, there wasn't a police car, and I found my mother in the kitchen, and she just looked at me, and she stopped the cooking she was doing. She said, "What the hell happened?" And I told her about the sand pit and what I did. And then I told her about my big secret. How because I was so skinny and the kids picked on me and I wanted to look more muscular, I used to take 2 pairs of sweatpants and put them on underneath my pants. And today it was so hot when I went to change my shorts, they stuck, and the kids saw them and said I was wearing diapers and made fun of me. My mother just had one question. 2 years? Did you ever put him in the wash? But I didn't have a chance to say no because the phone rang. It was Mrs. Wallace. And my mother held the phone to the ear and didn't say anything for about 2 minutes. But then when she spoke with this really firm, clear voice. "Your sons have been picking on my child for years now. You should consider yourselves lucky. He could have shot their dicks off. You want to talk to the police or the superintendent about this? I am glad to have that discussion." The phone call ended pretty abruptly after that. I had never seen my mother or anyone else defend me like that. I know that my mother wore the pants in my family, but for the first time in my life, I saw my grandfather's traits in my mother. And if they were in the mother, my grandfather's traits, his independent spirit, his strength, his tenacity, that lived in me too. And I knew at that point that I would be standing up for myself, just like my mother did and my grandfather would have wanted. That I would be wearing the pants in my own life. Nothing artificial required. Thank you.